Good morning, dear students. I hope that you all are keeping well. And today we will start a new chapter, chapter number 1, Meeting Suzanne. And this story is written by Sir Michael Mothpo, is an English author, poet, and playwright. He is best known for his novels and stories for children, many of which have been made into films between the year 2003 and 2005. He was named Children's Laureate of the United Kingdom. He has won several awards for his work. So let's start this chapter, but before I start this chapter, you should open your books and see the explanation. And while I read this chapter, um, I wanted that you should also pay attention to the words that are pronounced carefully. The pronunciation of some words are complicated, but I want that you should take out your book and read the book along with me, so you can understand the chapter and you will able to pronounce the words which has been given in this chapter. So I, Bhavna Joshua, is going to teach you unit 1, Meeting Suzanne. Flipping through his mother's book, a young boy named Yannick admires the beauty of the countryside of Provence as painted by the master painter Cézanne. One summer, he gets the chance to go and spend time with his uncle's family who lived there. Yannick soon began to enjoy his estate, occasionally helping his uncle run the village inn. One day there's a bustle at the inn, for the famous man, the inn's best customer, comes visiting. Who is this man and why is there such a fuss about his visit? So, in this first paragraph, it explains that turning the pages and looking into the book of his mother, a young boy named Yannick, he admires, means he looked the beauty of the countryside of the province. Province means a region in the southern eastern France. It is famous for its sceneries and painted by a famous painter named Cézanne. Cézanne was a French painter who was great influence on many artists of the 20th century. So one summer, this Yannick has got a chance to go and spend the free time, or you can say his holiday, with his uncle's family who lived in that place. So Yannick soon begins to enjoy his stay as he went to his uncle's house, and he started to enjoy his stay. Occasionally he used to help his uncles. uh, the village inn is a small hotel, a restaurant, a small restaurants. Many times you have also visited small restaurants. So there is a village inn where people go to eat something, snacks or lunch or dinner. And one day there is a bustle means noisy, excited activity, movements in the inn for a famous man. So the inn's best customer comes visiting. So now Yannick is very confused at that time, that why so much of this noise and activities, and excited activities and movements are happening in the inn, because the famous man of that inn is coming to the uh, inn to eat something and for the visit. So he was thinking in his mind, Yannick was thinking in his mind, that who is this man and why is there such a fuss about his visit. First means why the people are so much confused and rushing through it, and why so much confusion about his visit. So that evening, my cousin Amandine told me I had to do everything properly because their best customer was coming to dine with some friends. He lived in a chateau in the village, she said, and was very famous. When I asked what he was famous for, she didn't reply. So that evening, Yannick's cousin Amandine told Yannick that Yannick have to do everything properly because their best customer was coming to dine. Dine means to take a dinner with some of his friends. So where did this famous man live? He lived in a large country home or a castle, a chateau. So in the village, she said, and was very famous. So this man who is coming to dine with his friends in the inn was a very famous man, and it was a very special person, a best customer for their inn. So when I asked that why this, Yannick asked to Emmanuel why he was famous for, she didn't reply. So let's move on. Questions, always questions. She tutted, go and fetch the logs. So here Amandine just said that you always ask question, make an expression of annoyance. That means she became a little bit angry, irritated, that always you ask question, and it's better asking question, you go and fetch the logs. Means to fetch the logs means the cutted part of the woods, to take out the cutted part of the woods to be burnt into the chimney. You can see here in your book it has been given, I can show you. So here you can see that a chimney has been made, and the logs has been put into this chimney to burn the fire to keep the inn warm. So let's move on to line number 3. Whoever he was, he looked like an ordinary man without much hair, but I felt very pleased when the famous man ate one of my creme brulees. After the man and his guests left, we began to clear the table. I pulled the paper tablecloth off, scrunched it, and threw it into the fire as usual. Suddenly, Amandine went rushing past me. For some reason, she grabbed the tongue and tried to pull out the remnants of the burning paper tablecloth. But it was already too late. Then she turned to me. Now, the guest and his friends came into the inn in the evening time to take the dinner, and when he came to the inn, Yannick looked to this person, and when Yannick looked at this person, this person looks like an ordinary man without much hair, and Yannick felt very pleased when the famous man ate one of his creme brulees. So creme brulee, you can say that creme brulee is a French dessert. It's a sweet consisting of custard at topped with a layer of sugar. So it is a sweet dish prepared by Yannick, and that man has eaten and liked it. So after the man and his guests left, we begin to clear the table. Yannick has started to clean the table as the um, best customer of that inn left. So cleaning is work has been started by Yannick, and he pulled the paper tablecloth off, crushed it, and threw it into the fire as usual, as he was doing for the rest of the time. So suddenly, the cousin suddenly, Amandine went rushing past to Yannick. Suddenly she walked very quickly to Yannick, and for some reason she grabbed the tongs. Tongs means every house has got a tong. Your mother is using to make chapatis or something, to pick very hot utensils. We use tongs, a device to pick up hot things. I especially use it to make chapatis. So that tongs she put, and she tried to pull out the remaining of the burning paper tablecloth, which has been thrown by Yannick into the fire. But it was already too late. Then whole tablecloth was made up of paper, and it was burned. And then, with what expression, Amandine turned to Yannick. Now what happened? Let's see. "You fool," she shouted, "you little fool." So here, with a great anger, Amandine shouted to Yannick that, "You fool, you little fool." What? Yannick, with a confused expression that what he has done, that Amandine is shouting on him. "What I said?" Yannick said. "What? The man who just left does a drawing on the tablecloth as a tip for Papa. If he likes his meal, you went and threw it in the fire. He is the most famous painter in the world, idiot." She was in tears now. So now Yannick was getting very clear to his confusion, and he was stunned, remained standing and watching that what Amandine is saying to him. He said that the man who just left does a drawing on a tablecloth, and the tablecloth was made up of paper. So he does a drawing on the tablecloth as a tip for Papa, for Amandine's Papa, and Yannick's uncle Bruno. His name is Uncle Bruno, and if he likes the meal, and you went very fast and you throw the tablecloth into the fire. So he is the most famous painter in the world, idiot. So he said that, "You idiot." Yannick, as an idiot, he gave a compliment to that, "You are an idiot, and how dare you throw this paper into the fire." He was the most famous painter, and he painted something for Papa as a tip. And now Amandine began to cry. Now tears were in her eyes. So let's see now what happened to Amandine and Yannick. So I hope that you have understood this much. The first page has been over. Let's move to the second page. Everyone in the restaurant stopped eating. Everyone in the restaurant stopped eating and went silent. So those who are eating in the restaurant, taking the dinner, they stopped eating and they went from the restaurant very silent. They left the restaurant. Then Uncle Bruno came striding towards us. Unlike his jolly self, what is it? He asked Amanda. So Uncle Bruno, he was a very good nature type of man, and Uncle Bruno comforted this Yannick, and he walked straight toward Yannick, and he said that what it is. He asked Amanda. So it was Yannick, Papa, she cried. He threw it into the fire, the tablecloth, the drawing. So Uncle Bruno told that he was a great painter, and Amanda does a complaint about Yannick that it was Yannick Papa who threw that paper tablecloth on which the famous painter has given you a tip on the behalf of making a good painting on it. So he threw it into the fire. So, did you tell him about it, Amanda? Uncle Bruno asked. Did Yannick know that he sketches something on the tablecloth and leaves it behind for us? So now Uncle Bruno comforted Yannick by saying that the famous painter has shown his appreciation by liking the creme brulee made by Yannick. So he asked Amanda that you, before this incident happened, you have told Yannick that who was that man, and did you know that he sketched something on the tablecloth and leaves behind for us? Now Amanda looked at me, her cheeks wet with tears. I thought she was going to lie, but she didn't. So Amanda looked at Yannick. Her cheeks were wet with tears, and Yannick thought that she was going to lie, but she didn't. And now see, she told the truth to his father that no, Papa, she said, lowering her head. Now she put her head down and she told her papa that no, I didn't get any information to Yannick that what this person is famous for. So then you shouldn't blame him, should you, for something that was your fault? Say sorry to Yannick now, she mumbled, but didn't raise her eyes. Uncle Bruno put his arms around me. Never mind Yannick, he said. He said he particularly liked his creme brulee. You made it, didn't you? So the drawing was for you. Really. Always look on the bright side. For a moment, you held a drawing that was made for you by the greatest painter in the world. That's something you will never forget. So, here, now Uncle Bruno has started comforting Yannick that the painting by saying to Yannick that the famous painter Cezanne had shown his appreciation by liking the creme brulee made by Yannick, and he said that the drawing he made on the tablecloth was actually for Yannick. He also added that Yannick was lucky to have held it, even if only for a moment. So he said to Yannick that always look for good things in the bad situation. For a moment, the drawing has been made for you by the world's greatest painter. And this is the thing that you will never forget. Something has been made for you, and you will never forget. So let's move on to line number 14. Later on, as I came out of the bathroom, I heard Amanda crying in her room. I hated to hear her cry, so I knocked on the door and went in. So, after all, when this all incident has been taken place, everything was done. Late night, when this Yannick came out from his bathroom, washed his hands and face, and he came out from the bathroom, he heard that Amanda was crying in her room. So he hated to hear her cry, because uh, though Amanda was shouting and teasing him, but she was his sister, and Yannick didn't like that she should cry. So he knocked the door and went inside her room. So, I'm sorry, I said. I didn't mean to upset you. She had stopped crying by now. So, Yannick said sorry to Amanda. So, he said that I'm sorry, I didn't mean to hurt you, to upset you. And by then, hearing these words of comfort and consoling, Amanda stopped crying. It wasn't your fault, Yannick, she said, still sniffing a bit. It's just that I hate it when Papa's cross with me. He hardly ever is, only when I have done something really bad. I shouldn't have blamed you. I'm sorry. And then she smiled at me. So, now what happened? Amanda said that it wasn't your fault. She was sniffing. That means to make noises by breathing air suddenly by your nose because of crying, sniffling a bit. And she said that I just hate that when Papa cross with me. Cross means angry with me. He is hardly ever angry with me, and only when he gets angry when I have done something really bad. So I shouldn't have blamed you, because I have not told you the full um, story that why this famous guest is famous for, and I'm sorry. And then she smiled at Yannick. So I lay awake all night, my mind racing. Somehow I was going to make it all right again and make Amanda happy. Soon I had worked out exactly what and how to do it, even what I was going to say when the time came. So that night, Yannick was awake the whole night. His mind was racing like what, horse, that what to do, what to make everything settled up, how to make Amanda happy, and how he is going to make everything all right. So soon he worked out exactly that how to do it, and even what he was going to say when the right time will come. So he had planned something, planned to make Amanda happy. So he worked for it, and just he set his mind for all his work. He set everything in his mind, and he um, was about to say everything when the right time will come. So let's see. Next morning, I didn't go for my walk in the hills, but made my way down through the village towards the shed. I waited till there was no one about. I climbed the gates easily enough and then ran down through the trees. There, surrounded by the vast and threatening forest on all sides, was the old man with a little hair who had come to the inn. He was sitting alone on the steps in the sunshine and sketching. I approached as silently as I could, but somehow I must have disturbed him. He looked up, shading his eyes against the sun. "Hello, young man," he said. Now that I was this close to him, I could see he was indeed very old, but his eyes were young, bright, and searching. So the next morning, as usual, Yannick went for a walk every day to the hills, but he didn't go for the walk in the hills but made his way through the village towards the chateau. Now Yannick wants to meet the famous painter in the world. He wanted to see him. He wanted to say something when the right time has to come. So to speak to him, to tell him his feelings, and to make Amandine happy, he went to the shed. So he waited till there was no one about. So he climbed the gate easily enough and then ran down through the trees. They're surrounded by the vast and threatening forest all sides. So it is not easy to get into the castle because there was a deep forest, a dense forest all around, and threatening forest all the sides. And there was the old man with little hair who had come to the inn to meet him. And when he reached to the chateau, he saw that he was sitting alone on the steps in the sunshine and sketching. He is doing the painting. So I approached as silently as I could, but somehow he disturbed him. Yannick disturbed him. So the old man looked up, shading his eyes against the sun, and said, "Hello, young man." Now that I was close to him, I could see, and when Yannick is so close to him, he was now able to see that man very clearly, that the man was very old, but his eyes were young, bright, and searching for new things. So let's move on. "Are you Monsieur?" So Cézanne, the famous painter, I asked. He seemed a little puzzled, so I went on. "My mother says you are the greatest painter in the world." So here, Monsieur means a French word for Mr. In India, we say Mr. Other country also we say Mr. But in French, it has been said as Monsieur. So here you can see the correct pronunciation. The correct pronunciation of the word Monsieur. So Monsieur has been the word that has been said here to in this to greet the famous painter. So Yannick asked, "Are you Mr. Cézanne, the famous painter?" And he seemed a little puzzled, that means confused. And so Yannick went on and he said that, "My mother says that you are the greatest painter in the word. So he smiled and then laughed. So he smiled and then laughed. I think your mother's probably right, he said. You clearly have a wise mother. But why did she let a young lad like you come wandering here on his own? So he smiled and laughed. The old man smiled and laughed, and he said that your mother is absolutely correct. She is right that I am a famous painter, and definitely you have a wise mother, intelligent mother. But a question was in his mind, and he asked to Yannick that, but why did she let a young lad, means a young boy like you, come wandering here on his own, alone? So then I explained why I had come and what I wanted. He looked at me with furrowed brows and said, I remember you now from last night. Of course, I will draw another picture for Bruno. What would he like? No. Better still, what would you like? So I explained why I had come and what I had wanted. Now the right time has come, and Yannick has explained to the old man that what happened yesterday night. I had cleaned the table. I have thrown that paper tablecloth into the fire, and I make her, my cousin, upset. She was crying, and his father, my uncle Bruno, scolded her, and he was very angry with her. And now Yannick did not want to see Amandine cry, upset, and to make her happy, he was here to ask the world's famous painter Mr. Cezanne to make a painting for Uncle Bruno, or for Amandine. So he looked at me with furrowed brows. Furrowed brows means wrinkled brows showing confusion or curiosity. So, and said, I remember you now from last night. Of course. I'll draw. So here Mr. Cezanne said, of course I'll draw another picture for Bruno. What would he like? But then immediately he changed his mind. He said, no. Better still, what would you like? He asked Yannick that what would you like I should draw? I like sailing boats, I said. Can you do boats? So now Yannick asked to Cezanne that I like sailing boats. Can you do boats? That means, can you draw a boat for me? So he said, I'll try. He replied with a smile. So Cezanne said that I'll try, and he replied this with a smile. It didn't take him long. He drew fast, never once looking up. But as he worked, he asked me about where I had seen sailing boats, about where I lived in Paris. He said he loved Paris and sailing boats too. So here, now as he was the world's famous painter, it didn't take too long for him to draw the painting. So he drew the painting very fast and never once he looked up. This is the work with the perfection and professionalism, maintaining the work with the perfection. So, but as he worked, he asked Yannick that where he had, means Yannick has seen the sailing boats, and where he lived in Paris. And he also said that he loved Paris and sailing boats too. There, he said, tearing the sheet from his sketchbook and showing me. What do you think? 4 sailing boats were racing over the sea out and beyond the lighthouse. Just I had seen them in Brittany, but I saw he had signed it Picasso. So now, as they were having a conversation with each other, Cezanne asked Yannick so many questions, that where he has seen this sailing boats, and in Paris he is staying, and where he lived in Paris, what is that particular place. And he told Yannick that he also loved Paris and sailing boats too. And there he tear the sheet from the sketchboard, means he removed the sheet from the sketchboard and showed to Yannick. What do you think? He showed that painting to Yannick, and Yannick saw that 4 sailing boats were racing over the sea out and beyond a lighthouse. So the lighthouse, you have seen many of the time, the lighthouse has been shown in the movies also, that it show the way to the ships during the night time or thunder time. So lighthouse is a place where the lights has been shown to the ships while they are sailing during the night time or during the night time, or the thunder storms just came to the sea. It used to show the lights to the ship. So here 4 sailing boats were racing over the sea out and beyond a lighthouse. Just I had seen them in Brittany. So Yannick has seen a coastal town near the northwest France, that is Brittany, but I saw he signed it Picasso. So as Cezanne has drawn the picture, he has done his initial in the painting. By drawing that 4 ship, he has done his initials, that means he's done his signature, and it shows the name Picasso, Picasso. The signature was that, but it was drawn into the form of a picture, that 4 boats were sailing over the sea out and beyond the lighthouse. So I hope you have understood this. So I thought, now the confusion again came to the mind of Yannick. He said, I thought your name was Cezanne. I said. So Yannick asked him. He said that I thought that your name was Cezanne. So he smiled up at me. How I wish it was, he said sadly. Then he added, off you go now. So now he smiled to Yannick and said that how I wish it was. So Cezanne said that he wished that might be his name was not Picasso, but his original name was Picasso. People were calling him Cezanne because he don't want to spell out his name everywhere, because through his name he became very famous, and people will start forcing him to draw everything for him. So he didn't want to share all his secrets to the people. So he said that he said sadly, of course, how I wish it was. Then he added that off you go now. So given the painting to Yannick, and he said that now you can go from here. So this was the story meeting Cezanne. So Picasso children was a great world's best and famous painters. So Picasso was there, and Leonardo da Vinci was there, M.F. Hussain is there. So many painters are there who have marked their painting uh, as their initials. They are famous for. They have given their name, fame, and money, everything. They have been rewarded for all their work. So it take a lot of time, but um, I hope that you have understood this chapter. Please do understanding the text in your fair copies. Rest of the details we will give you afterwards, and I hope that you have understood this chapter. Please read the chapter carefully, as these chapters are very important for you, and this session is also very important for you. Please read it, and I hope that you should take care of yourself during the pandemic time. So thank you, and stay safe, stay at home.